Hello viewers, so I am here with my groupmates to explain to you what is the role of civil society in good governance. So what is civil society? Civil society is made up of independent group that is form a varied and interconnected network. So these groups include local organizations and specialized associations. So all these groups work together to enhance their influence in the government and the market. For you to know, civil society is a third sector, which is emphasizing its ability to positively impact both the states and the market by promoting good governance, like principles like transparency, effectiveness, and accountability.
Authoritarian political control. Authoritarian political control refers to a system where power is controlled by the hands of a single leader, without regard to the will or opinion of the people. It can be said to have no peaceful method of power transfer, as it limits the citizens' civil liberties where decisions are made without consideration of others. Where, in summary, authoritarian political control is a system where the ones in charge make the rule and the people have no choice but to follow. Religion. While religion promotes philanthropy, it can also hinder the development of civil society organizations or CSOs. Religion has restrictions on individualism and has hierarchical structures and discourages questioning as it is deemed to be a challenge to authority. And it also complicates the CSO's relationship with the state as religious organizations have limited involvement in politics. Colonialism in itself erodes the traditional system like governance system which weakens the foundations and slows the progressions of CSOs as it is focused on centralized control rather than independency of civil society.
Low income and strained social development. The colonial experience limited indigenous middle class opportunity by taking over governmental and commercial function, resulting in a lack of independence for the emerging middle class in the developing world. For these slides, my opinion is the colonial experience significantly impact the development of the indigenous middle class in many developing countries. Here's a detailed explanation of how this occurred. 1. Control over governmental function. During colonial rules, European power took control of governmental institutions and administrative role. This meant that high-level government jobs and decision-making positions were largely occupied by the colonizers themselves. Limited financial resources significantly impede the growth and effectiveness of civil society organization. Here's a detailed explanation of how financial scarcity impact CSOS. 1. Skills and service limitation. Due to a lack of funds, CSOS often struggle to expand their operation or improve their service. This constraint prevent them from reaching more people or addressing more issues within their community, thereby limiting their overall impact. Legal treatment refers to the law and regulation that govern the operation and activity of non-profit organization, also known as civil society organization within a particular country income developing countries such as Brazil, Thailand, and Egypt. The legal environment for civil society organization can be challenging, hindering their growth and impact.
In many third world countries, civil society sector growth has been hindered by shifting development policies. Initially, focus was on state-led modernization, neglecting civil society organizations. Even with later shifts, like structural adjustments, attention remained on government or private sector, limiting civil society's growth.
Improving the local business and investment climate is the vital for economic growth and community development. The civil society sector plays a significant role in achieving this thought virus means. The Encourage New Enterprise and Livelihood Program is a comprehensive navigate designate to foster the growth of small business and entrepreneurial venture within communities. Here's a breakdown of its component. Delivery of social service. Effort to sustain economic development and reduce poverty are unlikely to succeed in the long run unless there is greater investment in human capital, particularly of the poor. Ample evidence exists that im- improvement in education, health, and nutrition not only directly attack some of the most important causes of poverty, but is also ensure sustained supply of productive labor, an important factor of production and contribution.
What is the role and function of civil society? So, civil society organization contributes significantly to public budgeting by providing information on public needs and priorities. Mm. So, ini-enhance nila yung connections nila with citizens and communities at saka sa mga sectors. And also, effective advocacy based on deep policy knowledge enables civil society to influence policy decisions positively. So, what is the constitutional and legal role of civil society? So, the civil society is informing people about their rights and responsibilities, raising awareness about government function, facilitating public discussions, promoting participations in governance, and underlining the significance of the rule of the law and for both citizens and government institutions. And it emphasizes how the Constitution shapes the nation's politics by defining governmental institutions and accommodating civil society. It reflects the influence of the 2006 civil society movement, which prioritized constitutionalism and good governance principles.
We are the group for the role of civil society in promoting good governance, and that is all for our presentation.